Hi, let's discuss one more variety on regenerative Rankine cycle on the numericals. So, let me read the problem statement. So, it is a VTU question paper problem on regenerative Rankine cycle. So, here we have the steam at 30 bar and 350 degree Celsius. It is entering the steam turbine and is supplied to steam turbine in a practical regenerative cycle. It is practical regenerative cycle. Then the steam is bled at 4 bar. The steam bleeding pressure is 4 bar. The bled steam comes out as a dry saturated steam. So, he mentioned the dryness fraction at the bleeding point, that is x equal to 1, that is dry saturated steam it is. Then the feed water, it enters the feed water heater in that same condition, and here the feed water heater is direct contact type. Direct contact type means the both fluids mixes each other. So, now here the steam after feed water heater, it comes out as a saturated liquid state. The rest of the steam in the turbine expands to a condenser pressure of 0.1 bar. So, he has given the condenser pressure 0.1 bar, assuming the turbine efficiency. So, please remember, he has given the turbine efficiency to be same before and after bleeding. So, if he has mentioned the word turbine efficiency, so we need to consider the actual regenerative Rankine cycle conditions for this problem. So, it is same before and after bleeding, that is in stage 1 as well as stage 2, the turbine efficiency is same. So, after discussing the given data, he has asked us to calculate the turbine efficiency and then steam quality at the inlet to the condenser, that is turbine outlet, that is turbine stage 2 outlet, what is the steam quality he has asked us to calculate, and again the mass flow rate of the bled steam, that is m value we need to calculate, then cycle efficiency we are supposed to calculate. The problem carries 8 marks in the exams. So, now here let us represent the given data. So, you can pause this video and note down this statement on a paper so that you have the given data in front of you. So, let us represent the same given data from the problem statements on the line diagram. So, as you know, in the regenerative Rankine cycle we have the boiler. After boiler, the steam is coming out at 30 bar and 350 degree Celsius, and the quantity of steam that we assume is 1 kg. So, it comes out at state 1, then enters turbine stage 1, so which produces WT1 for us. Then at point 2, that is in stage 1 to 2 is the expansion. At point 2 we are drawing the m kg of steam at 4 bar pressure, and the remaining 1 minus m kg expands in the second stage, comes out at state 3 with a condenser pressure of 0.1 bar he has mentioned. So, then 1 minus m kg, same 1 minus m kg enters the pump after condenser. So, same 1 minus m kg comes into open feed heater. This is the open feed heater. So, wherein the bled steam and this condensate mixes each other, comes out at state 6. So, here we have the pump. So, 6 to 7 is the pumping process. So, 7 to 1 again the boiler heating, that is Q1 is added here and Q2 is rejected. So, this is the theory, and we represented the given data from the problem statement. So, let us look into the TS diagram and so in TS diagram, so we have the P1 pressure as 30 bar, that is the boiler pressure, and P2 as 4 bar, that is the pressure at which the steam is bled from the turbine, and m kg is drawn from the turbine for open field water heater. So then the condenser pressure is 0.1 bar, and here the 1 kg of steam is flowing and 1 minus m kg is flowing here. So 3 to 4 condensation, it is 4 to 5 pumping process, and 5 to 6 is open feed water heater. So then again 6 to 7 again pumping process against the boiler. So here I am adding heat energy. So this is the TS diagram for the present problem. So similarly we can draw the HS diagram. So since turbine efficiency is mentioned in the problem statement, so we can draw the HS diagram for actual conditions. So that is this is the P1 pressure line, that is boiler pressure, 30 bar pressure line, constant pressure line, and we have 350 degrees Celsius temperature. So wherever both intersect, we can mark this as a state point 1 on HS diagram. So 1 to 2 I can draw for ideal process a isentropic line. Then again it deviates 2 dash, for 2 dash marking 2 dash on the saturated vapor line. So he has given in the problem statement the condition that the turbine outlet during the bleed of stage 1, during bleeding the steam is in dry saturated vapor condition. So that is let us look into the problem statement again. So this is the steam comes out as a dry saturated steam after the first bleeding, the blood steam. So means the blood steam coming out means the actual condition after during bleeding is the 2 dash. So hence 2 dash point to be marked on the dry saturated vapor line. So this is represented on dry saturated vapor line. So now here so after 2 dash the steam again enters the stage 2, and if it is a ideal expansion, it will expand till 0.3 on HS diagram. So since actual conditions are being discussed in the problem statement, so 2 to 3 dash, so this is the 3 dash is the actual condition at the stage 2 outlet. So we need to determine the given in the given problem. For the present problem we need to determine the thermal efficiency of the cycle, then the dryness fraction at x3 dash, not x3, please remember, and mass of the steam bled as well as cycle efficiency. So now one more condition he has given is the turbine efficiency of high pressure turbine, that is turbine stage 1, and low pressure turbine, that is stage 2. So both thermal efficiencies are equal. So then again we have boiler pressure P1 as 30 bar, P2 as 4 bar, then P3 as 0.1 bar. So now here the HS diagram shows the Mollier chart on the on which we can mark the point 1 at the intersection of 30 bar and 350 degree Celsius, and isentropic line till 4 bar, point 2 and point 2 dash can also be marked, as I discussed while discussing HS diagram. Point 3 and 3 dash can be plotted, 3 can be plotted, and we can obtain the HS enthalpy values for solving the problem. So in previous problems we have understood for calculation of thermal efficiency and mass of steam bled, we turbine efficiency we require all the enthalpy values, that is H1, H2, H3, H2 dash. So, all enthalpy values are required. So, let us obtain all these values by plotting the cycle on Mollier chart. So, this is the Mollier chart that is visible on your screen. So, that I have used for marking the 1, 2, 2 dash and 3. So, the first point is the intersection of the boiler pressure 30 bar. So, here I have 30 bar pressure line. So, I am moving along this. So, I am moving along this one. So, 30 bar pressure line I am moving downward till it intersects with 350 degree Celsius constant temperature lines. So, on Mollier chart I have constant temperature lines, various constant temperature lines. I have to find the temperature 350 degree Celsius, because at the turbine inlet the temperature of the steam is 350 degree Celsius. So, wherever 30 bar pressure line and 350 degree Celsius both intersects, so I have indicated state point 1 here. So that after marking state point 1, so if I draw a horizontal line towards y axis, so I will be able to read the value of enthalpy H1 as 3120 kilojoule per kg. So then from state point 1, so I will draw a constant entropy line, that is 1 to 2 is isentropic process, so entropy remains constant here. So here 1 to 2, this is the point 2, so which is represented on this chart. So I have to move downward until the bleed pressure. So that is the bleeding pressure is 0.4 bar. So 4 bar pressure line. So I will identify on the Mollier chart. So this is the 3 bar. This is 5 bar. So in between I have 4 bar. So from 4 bar, so I will be moving downward. So as I move towards downward until it cuts the vertical line from the state 1. So wherever both intersect, so I will mark this as point 2. So from this point 2, if I draw a horizontal line, so that is we have the H2 value as 2680. So then again along the 4 bar pressure line itself, I have to move upward. So till it cuts the dry saturated vapor line, So now I have to move in upward direction till it cuts the dry saturated line. So wherever this 4 bar pressure line and dry saturated vapor line intersects, so I will mark it as 2 dash point here. So why 2 dash I am marking on the dry saturated vapor line only? Because the bleed steam comes out as a dry saturated steam in the problem statement he has mentioned. So from 2 dash I will be able to get H2 dash, that is enthalpy of the steam which is coming out of the steam turbine, that is blood steam, as 2740 kilojoule per kg as a H2 dash. So now from here that is from H2 dash I can draw one vertical line, that is isentropic line. So till it cuts the condenser pressure, so there I will be able to mark the point 3 on the Mollier chart. So here for condenser pressure in the problem statement he has mentioned it as 0.1 bar. So I have the values here 0.05 bar, 0.1 bar. So the values are there. So along 0.1 pressure line, so I will move downward till it cuts the isentropic line. So that is the direction of movement. So wherever both intersects, so we have the state point 3. So from this state point 3 I can draw a horizontal line towards y axis, so that I will be able to get the enthalpy value H3. So now after obtaining the enthalpy at state 3, we can use these values H1, H2, H2 dash and H3 values for further calculations, enthalpy values for our further calculations. So, these are the values approximately which are meeting on the chart. So, that is H1 we are considering it as 3115 kilojoule per kg and H2 as 2620 or 70 kilojoule per kg and H2 dash as 2740 kilojoule per kg. So, then again H3 as 2190 kilojoule per kg. So, from the chart you can zoom and confirm. So, minor variations while reading the molar chart, like up to 5 to 7 or 5 to 10 kilojoule per kg are considered as human errors and they are acceptable. So, now here efficiency will solve the problem. So, first let us calculate S3 dash also for our cycle analysis. So, for calculating the turbine efficiency. So, we know that the turbine efficiency formula is given by the smaller enthalpy, that is H1 minus H2 dash divided by H1 minus H2. So, I have all the values. First bit of the problem, turbine efficiency is equal to H1 minus H2 dash. This is smaller enthalpy divided by higher enthalpy for the stage 1. So, now I will substitute all the values that I have already noted down from the molar chart, and I will be able to calculate the turbine efficiency. So, H1 I have 3115. So, then again H2 dash I have 2740, then H2 I have noted down it as 2680. So, now here if you operate the calculator, so I will be able to calculate turbine efficiency as 0.862. So, now let us calculate S3 dash, that is the enthalpy of the steam at the second stage outlet, actual enthalpy of the steam at second stage outlet, that is S3 dash. For calculation of that, I will use the turbine efficiency equation, that is efficiency of turbine stage 1. You can write this as turbine stage 1, and which is equal to the efficiency of turbine stage 2. So, where we are using the given condition in the problem statement and we are equating to the calculated value, that is 0.862. So, which can be written as a formula. How to write the formula? So, formula is from the HS diagram. So, it is nothing but H2 dash, that is a smaller enthalpy, H2 dash minus S3 dash is smaller, and S2 dash minus S3 is bigger. So, the ratio of these two, smaller by bigger, is the turbine efficiency formula here, that is eta T2. So, eta T2 can be written as smaller is H2 dash minus S3 dash divided by H2 dash minus H3. So, now here the same formula is used to solve the further steps. So, here formula we have used it, and we know the values except H3 dash from the molar chart, and we substitute all the values and operate the calculator. So, I will be able to get H3 dash, that is enthalpy at the second stage turbine outlet is 2265.9 kilojoule per kg. So, now after this, so once I know H3 dash, so I need to determine the condition of the steam at the second stage turbine outlet. So, for that I will refer again molar chart. So, for that reason I will use the H3 dash value that I have calculated. So, first I will identify S3 dash on y axis, that is 2265.9 kilojoule per kg. Then I will move in the rightward direction So till it cuts the condenser pressure line, that is 0.1 bar pressure line. So wherever both intersects, we have the state point 3 dash here. So this is the 3 dash, and if I move along that towards parallel to the constant dryness friction lines, so I will be able to get x3 dash as 0.868, so which is almost equal to 0.87. So this is how we use Molear chart to determine the condition of the steam at the second stage of the turbine. So now we referred the Molear chart and we calculated the condition of the steam at the turbine outlet, second stage turbine outlet. Now let us refer to the third bit for the solution of this numerical. So in the third bit he has asked us to calculate the mass of the steam bled at state 2. So that is for that we know from the thermal analysis in the theory for regenerative Rankine cycle. So we apply the energy balance for the feed water heater to calculate the value of M. So in the feed water heater, so we have since this is the actual cycle, so we have H2 dash at the inlet here, this is H2 dash, and here again I have the HF phi at the inlet with 1 minus mkg, and here I have HF6 or H6 simply. So these are the, for this device we need to apply the energy balance equation. So now here coming to the energy balance equation, m into H2 dash plus 1 minus m into HF phi, which is equal to 1 into HF6, and we know from the theory discussion how to write this equation. Then m into H2 dash I am keeping as it is, and 1 minus m into, I am replacing HF pi by HF4, since the HF value at the condenser pressure, that is 0.1 bar at state 5 and state 4 both are same from the steam table, and HF6 the mass is 1 kg, and I have retained HF6 as it is. So now from the steam table we know how to refer the steam table. So HF value at 0.1 bar, so I have the value 191.8 kilojoule per kg, and again HF6, that is HF6 is HF at a 4 bar pressure. So how it is 4 bar pressure? So at HF6, that is the enthalpy value at state 6 is nothing but the HF value at the operating pressure of the open feed water heater. So what is the operating pressure of the feed water heater? It is the pressure of the steam which is entering the heater. So that is how we refer the HF value for sixth state. So that is at 4 bar pressure, what is the HF value? So that will be considered for HF6. So now the value, if I refer the steam table, this is the value that we get, that is 604.7 kilojoule per kg. So now here again, after substituting the known data and few mathematical rearrangements, so I will be able to write the expression for M as HF6 minus HF4 divided by H2 dash HF4, and I know the values. So these are the values, and operate the calculator. So I will be able to calculate 0.162 of the problem. So we need to calculate the turbine work in this problem statement. So here since efficiency is mentioned here, so I can't use the formula H1 minus H2 for the stage 1 and again H2 minus H3 for the stage 2. So I need to refer the actual enthalpy values. So that is 1 into H1 minus H2 dash plus 1 minus m into H2 dash minus H3. So if we look into the line diagram, so it will be more clear, that is a HS diagram, it will be more clear. So here I have 1 kg which is flowing, but it is actual outlet condition is 2 dash. So therefore 1 into H1 minus H2 dash is the first stage turbine work, and again S2 dash minus S3 dash is the second stage turbine work. It is not S2 minus S3. So, since turbine efficiency is considered and actual conditions are mentioned, I need to refer the actual conditions only. So, now here after writing the formula, so I know all these values from previous steps of the same problem. So, I will substitute the values and I will be able to calculate the turbine work as 772.29. So, I request you to pause this video and go through these steps and operate the calculator and ensure the values. So, now here heat supplied. So, we are supplying the heat between 1 and 7, as we know HS or TS diagram, even schematic diagram also says. So, heat supplied is 1 kg into H1 minus HF7. So, I will replace HF7 by HF6, and again I know the value for HF6 and I will be able to calculate the heat supplied as 2510.3 kilojoule per kg. So, now as we know, the cycle efficiency is turbine work upon heat supplied. So, turbine work we have calculated, this is heat supplied. So, I will be able to calculate the efficiency as 30.76. So, this is the problem statement and the solution on regenerative cycle. This is a different variety and which has appeared in your VTU exam. So, please practice this problem for your own benefit. For any clarifications, watch this video repeatedly or you contact me. Now, let us go ahead with one more numerical on regenerative Rankine cycle, but with 2 open feed water heaters. So, this is also again a VTU question paper problem. So, please concentrate, and it is one of the easiest problem that you can solve in vapor power cycle, provided you know the theory on this. So, let us read the problem statement first. So, a regenerative cycle operated with steam supplied at 30 bar pressure, please remember, and 300 degrees Celsius. So, this is the condition of the steam at the turbine inlet, and condenser is operating at 0.08 bar pressure. The extraction points for the heaters open type, means open type feed water heaters are there. There are 2 heaters he has mentioned in the problem statement. The extraction pressure for the first open feed water heater is 3.5 bar pressure, and second feed water heater is 0.7 bar. So, if this is the given data, so he has asked us to calculate the thermal efficiency of this plant, neglecting the pump work. So, we need to neglect the pump work. So, it is a simple problem, so which has appeared repeatedly in your VTU question paper. So, here as let us recall and represent the given data on the schematic diagram. So, here we have the boiler and 1 kg of water enters into the turbine stage 1. In whenever 2 open feed water heaters are used, there are 3 stages of the turbine considered from the theory we know. So, this is the first stage, this is second stage, this is third stage. So, now here 1 kg enters here, and at point 2 I am drawing m1 kg into open feed water heater 1. So, then again from 2 to 3 it undergoes expansion, but the mass was 1 minus m kg here. So, then at point 3 I will draw m2 kg for the open feed water heater 2. So, the remaining mass, that is 1 minus m1 minus m2 will expand in the stage 3, and then it comes out at state 4. So, here the same the steam enters the condenser and 5 to 6 pumping process, then the same steam enters the open feed water heater 2. So, the remaining mass is 1 minus m1 only here. So, then again this pump pumps the condensate into open feed heater 1. So, wherein 1 minus m1 plus m1. So, again 1 kg will come out. So, this is the theory that we know already, and we have represented the given data of the problem statement. So, TS diagram for the present problem is, So here we have marked state point 1. So the P1 pressure, the boiler pressure is 30 bar, and 1 to 2 it is isentropic expansion. So at point 2 I am drawing M1 kg for the open feed heater 1 at P2 of 7.5 bar pressure. So 2 to 3 it again undergoes isentropic expansion. At point 3 I am drawing again M2 kg from the steam turbine at a pressure 0.7 bar, and again 3 to 4 is further expansion in the remaining stages of the turbine. At a P4 0.08 bar it undergoes condensation. So then again the same process can be represented on the HS diagram, that is on the Mollier chart, the procedure to indicate this. So on the Mollier chart I have saturation vapor line. So then I need to identify the turbine inlet conditions. At the turbine inlet the pressure is 30 bar. So I will identify the 30 bar pressure line on the Mollier chart, and the inlet temperature is 300 degrees Celsius. So wherever both intersect I can mark this as a point 1, point of intersection. From state 1 I will be able to read H1 value on the Mollier chart. So now from the point 1, so I will drop a vertical line downward till it cuts the next extraction pressure, that is P2 is equal to 3.5 bar. So wherever both intersect, so I will mark this as a point 2. From this point 2 I will read H2 value. So from point 3, that is 2 to 3, next further it undergoes isentropically expansion. So I will drop a vertical line till the next pressure, that is P3 is equal to 0.7 bar. So wherever both intersect, so I will be reading enthalpy at state 3. So then for getting H4 value, so again 3 to 4 it undergoes expansion in the remaining stages of the turbine till 0.084 bar. So then wherever both intersect I will mark this as a point 4, then I will draw a horizontal line, I will be able to get H4. This is how we refer Mollier chart for obtaining the values. So let us look into the solution. So let me open actual Mollier chart that I have indicated all these values, and let us confirm the values. So this is the actual Mollier chart that I have marked all the points, that is point 1, here I have point 1, this is point 2, this is point 3, this is point 4, and this is the isentropic line that I have drawn for all the pressures. So now we have all the pressures. This is the lowest is the condenser pressure line, and these are the bleed pressure lines, and this is the first turbine inlet pressure line. They are constant temperature lines, and let us look into the values now. So here the inlet conditions are 30 bar pressure line. So that is we have the 40 bar pressure line here, then I have 20 bar pressure line. So this is the 30 bar pressure line. From this I will move downward. So this is the movement that we are observing. We are moving downward after identifying 30 bar pressure line. So till it cuts constant temperature line. So we have the constant temperature lines. This is 250 degrees Celsius, this is 300 degrees Celsius, 350 degrees Celsius. In the present problem, so we have 300 degrees Celsius. So wherever 30 bar pressure line and 300 degrees Celsius have intersected, so we have marked this as a point 1. So this is state 1. So from this state 1, so I have drawn a horizontal line towards y axis, and I will be able to note down H1 value as 2990. So now my duty is to drop a vertical line downward, that is isentropic line downward, till it cuts the next extraction pressure. So that is 3.5 bar pressure, as he has mentioned in the problem statement. So this is the 3 bar line, and here I have 4 bar line. So in between, so I have chosen this as a 3.5 bar line. So I am moving downward now. So until this line cuts the isentropic line which is dropped from the point 1. So, this is the point of intersection. So, where both have intersected. So, I am writing this as a state point 2, and from this 2 I have drawn a horizontal line. So, I will be able to note down H2 as 2570 kilojoule per kg. So, now again 2 to 3 is isentropic expansion in the stage of the turbine. So, since entropy is a constant, so perfect vertical line we need to drop downward until the next extraction pressure. So, the next extraction pressure is, here we have 0.7 bar. So, until that it is cutting the vertical line downward. So, wherever both intersect, so I have marked this as a 0.3. So, from this 0.3 I am able to get H3 value as 2350 kilojoule per kg. So, then again the same procedure I will repeat. So, again I will continue to drop vertical line downward from between 3 and 4, then until it cuts the condenser pressure line. So, that is 0.08 bar pressure line. So, here I have 0.05, 0.1. So, until condenser pressure line. So, it will go downward. So, wherever both intersect, so I have this as a state point 4. So, from 4, so I will be able to calculate H4 value as 2050 kilojoule per kg. So, this is how we need to refer the Mollier chart for solving the numericals, and it saves lot of time for you. And be careful while referring the chart and count the divisions properly. Small human errors are acceptable. Now, after obtaining the values, so we have noted down H1, H2, H3, H4 from the procedure that we saw on the screen. So, now here from the steam tables we can note down at 30 bar the HF value, that is HF10. So, it is the value from the steam table, and at 7.5 bar, so we have HF value as 709.3 kilojoule per kg, and we know how to refer the steam table. So, it is a time consuming again opening the steam table and showing it to you. So, please refer that. So, then again here at P3 is equal to 0.7 bar. So, we have HF value. Then again at 0.08 bar, so we have HF value as 173.9. So, all these values are useful for us for further calculation. So, first as we know, we are supposed to calculate the thermal efficiency. Thermal efficiency is nothing but thermal efficiency is always net work upon heat supplied. So, net work includes turbine work minus pump work, and again he has asked us to neglect the pump work. So, hence turbine work upon heat supplied. So, for turbine work I need all the mass values, mass fraction values. So, here I have in the first turbine it is 1, here for second turbine we have 1 minus m1, and for third stage I have mass as 1 minus m1 minus m2. So, therefore, I need the values for m1 and m2. So, for obtaining the value of m1, so we apply the energy balance for the feed heater 1, or it is also called as high pressure feed water heater. So, here high pressure feed water heater, if we look into the schematic diagram, this is the high pressure feed water heater. So, wherein I have inlet stream as m1 at H2 enthalpy, and again I have 1 minus m1 H8, and HF9 is the outlet for the feed heater water heater 1. So, if I apply the energy balance for the equation for that, so I have m1 into H2, 1 minus m1 into HF8 and 1 into HF9. So, further if you look into this, so I am replacing HF8 by HF7. So, since pump work is negligible, and again further after simplification, so I will be able to get expression for M1, and I will substitute the values HF9, HF7 as these values. So HF7 and HF9 are known to us. So from the data that we have already noted down, so here I have HF7 and HF9, this is HF9. So after substituting these values, we will be able to calculate M1 0.151 kg. Now similarly, we will apply the energy balance for low pressure heater or open feed water heater 2. So as per our notation, so if you will look into the schematic diagram, this is the open feed water heater 2. So here I have M2 into H3 as a inlet stream, and again HF6 with 1 minus M1 minus M2, and outlet is HF7, that is with 1 minus M1 HF7. So I will apply the energy balance for this open feed water heater. So now the equation for M2, applying the energy balance for LP heater, so the M2 into H3, 1 minus M1 minus M2 into HF6, 1 minus M1 HF7. So now I will replace HF6 by HF5. So because at that pressure, so enthalpy at state 5 and state 6 both will be same. So then I know the enthalpy values in this expression. H3 is known to us, then HF5 is known to us, then HF7 is known to us. So we will substitute all these values except the mass values. So now we formulate the expression, and again one more thing is M1 value is also known to us, and out of this entire expression only M2 is unknown. So with simple algebra, so we will be able to calculate M2 as 0.08 kg. So once we obtained the M1 and M2 values, so we have the turbine work. So here that is turbine work is turbine stage 1 work, turbine stage 2 work, then turbine stage 3 work. It is algebraic sum of all the 3 stages. So then again for stage 1 it is 1 to 2 expansion, and stage 2 it is 2 to 3, but mass is 1 minus M1, and again for stage 3 it is S3 minus H4. The mass of the steam in the stage 3 is 1 minus M1 minus M2. From the schematic diagram, so we can confirm these values. So here in the stage all the 3 stages, so I have 1 kg here, here I have 1 minus M1 kg flowing, and here I have 1 minus M1 minus M2 is flowing in the third stage. So the same enthalpy values and equations in equation I have used, and we substituted the known values. So enthalpy values are known to us, then again M1 is known to us, M2 is also known to us, then all enthalpy values are known to us from the previous steps, and we substitute the values, and I am able to calculate 840.28 kilojoule per kg. So please pause this video for a while and go through these steps and confirm the values. Then heat supplied is H1 minus HF10 it is from the schematic diagram. So I am replacing HF10 by HF9. So since pump work is negligible, so as I know the value for H1 and HF9 I have substituted, and I am able to calculate it as double to 80.7 kilojoule per kg. So how this is H1 minus HF10? So we have seen in the schematic diagram. So heat supply is between the state 1 and the state 10. So this wherein we are supplying the heat energy Q1 in the boiler. So that is nothing but higher enthalpy minus lower enthalpy H1 minus HF10 it is. So now after understanding this turbine work, So we have heat supplied as 2280.7 kilojoule per kg. Then thermal efficiency is nothing but the turbine work upon heat supplied. So that is 840.28 and 2280.7. So we have the thermal efficiency as 36.84. So this is how we calculate the thermal efficiency, and this is one of the important problem that you can practice on regenerative Rankine cycle with 2 open feed water heaters. So what all we did, so in the problem statement we identified the pressures that were given in the problem statement, and we used the Mollier chart and indicated all the state points 1, 2, 3, 4 from the given conditions, that is pressure and temperatures, and we obtained the enthalpy values H1, H2, H3, H4, and we further we noted the values from the steam tables, required values from the steam tables. Then we calculated the mass of the bled stream M1 and by applying the energy balance, and M2 by applying the energy balance to the feed heaters. After that, so once we knew all the values, so we were able to calculate the turbine work, then we will able to calculate the heat supplied, then finally the thermal efficiency is calculated. So I thank you for watching this video, and this is the end of Weber power cycle lecture with this problem. And for V2 students, for 18 scheme, the module 3 is discussed, and the module 3 ends with this problem. And I request the viewers to go through other varieties of problems after practice of these problems. Thank you. For any doubts, you can feel free to comment or contact. Thank you.